Hello and welcome. We're just going to get straight into it today. No snazzy intros as you saw earlier. We're just going to get straight into it because I don't know how long this video is going to hold up for, and I don't know how much I can fit in one. So today we're going to do one of my favourite things, which is evacuation. This will get you the most amount of experience, and once again we're on solo, so we don't have to worry about other players, we don't have to worry about interfering with other games, we can just get straight to it. Evacuation is very good on solo, but once you've trained up a bit on solo, I do suggest going with other players because it is a friendly game type, and if you do just the co-op missions, then you always get a bot monster, which are very predictable after a while. So as you can see here, I'm just sort of going through the modes till I find evacuation, which I pop back to in a second. There we are. So you have 4 days and 1 day evacuating at the end. Game type usually lasts about 45 minutes to a maximum of an hour. So I was thinking of going monster, show you monster, but I'll do that in a later video and instead go hunt. So here's the planet of Sheer, where we are, and you always get the first day picked for you. Hunt is always the first game type you get. So we're going straight into it, and as you can see, we're in the armory. Great thing about this, it shows you what day it's on. So if you do join a fellow campaign outside of this, you know, in joint mode, in co-op, sorry about that, I lost my words there for a second, then you will show up which day you're joining, so it'll show you how far into the mission they are. But if you start this on solo, you'll always start on day 1, you will always start with a hunt. So I'm about to go into it now, and for this I decided to show you a new type, and we've done Trapper once before on a very previous video, and Assault. This time I'm going to show you Medic, and I'm going to show you Lazarus. I know a lot of you out there are thinking, ooh, I'm not sure about Lazarus, I'm not sure if he's good or bad. He is very good when used effectively, so I'm hopefully going to show you how to do that in this video. Just going to go through it, and eventually I do go to pick Medic. I think just about here. Main thing about Lazarus is the distance, the cloak, and the revive. The heal is the largest in the game, and you can heal from quite a distance, obviously not too far, but the most important thing about the medic is keeping the medic alive. So as you can see here, I'm going through my different skins. I decide eventually on the Phoenix skin, because A, I bought it and I want to show off, and B, it's very easy to see what I've got, whereas some of the other tech, it's a bit more difficult to see which gun's out, what thing is out. So there you can see I instantly go to quick reload. Quick reload is my go-to thing. A lot of people go for like speed or damage. Damage is not really the best for a medic. There's nothing you can do to boost the damage for a medic, really. Speed, yes, it can be useful in times, but honestly, because Lazarus has the cloak, the reload is probably the best for him, because it will get that cloak back up as quickly as possible when it's on recharge. Also, the glove itself for reviving players, if there's multiple players down, especially if it's quite a weak team that you're fighting with, all the players, or the AI in this case, tend to go down a lot, then a revive is always handy, and to have multiple revives very quickly is the better of the options. So in a minute my video is going to finish, so I'm just going to pop out and pop back in with the game type.
We've been attacked. The creature wiped out an company of my men. We need your help. Kill that thing, and we'll find a way to return the favor.
So, as you can see there, that introduces it, and if we win, we get a boost of those mechanized machines. If we lose, then the monster gets even more prey to feed on.
See you kept your chem sprayer
The
hide.
buffs change on different maps.
I remember you at the Battle of Sabah, the only chem trooper without his filter mask.
Ah, Sabah. That was something. Yeah, good times. You miss it?
Sometimes, yes. I miss talking with other thanatologists. It was something I took for granted. People who spoke our language understood what it was like to be a Lazarus man.
As you can see there, I'm looking around, as told before,
Sometimes they do, yes.
but the birds triggered me, so I know where the monster is to start with.
Gets my boot up there
So,
unmentionables.
instantly I see footprints, tracks, and I got subtitles on as shown in the previous videos, and you can see my lovely, lovely Phoenix gun there with its skin. The monster can't see the gun, so, you know, this is just between hunters. It's not like it's dead giveaway from far away. So off I go. There's more birds. He's eaten some skeletons there. I can see some previous colonists who were already dead at the start of this map. So I'm following the birds and the tracks. Messed up a bit there. So as you can see there, I'm activating my cloak just to show you. While you're cloaked, you are completely invisible until you fire. When you fire or use your healing burst like that, the monster can see where you are. Now, my cloak ran out there, but as soon as you use that, you can... I think I'm about to engage the monster here. I'm looking around. There's the birds. So he's just over there, and in a minute I put a marker up, which is there. That's where the birds were, and he just comes around the corner, and there's the dome. So the trapper's domes, I've instantly put the healing marker in, and I'm on top of this rock. Now, being up here, I can stay out of the fight as much as possible until the monster sees me and comes to me. Now there he went to me. I put my healing burst down, used my jetpack to stop and get back up, but he's already up there. So I drop down, I go cloaked, stay in the water, because that's, you can't see footprints in the water. So I'm out the way, I do that healing burst, and I just lay on with the sniping.
Knocked myself up.
There he is. And I think, yep, he's gone down there. Just to show you now, I've got my glove ready. So in I go and charge it up. Now, Hyde helped me out there. He did that poison cloud there, so that as soon as I went in, if the monster lingered there, he would be taking damage before he killed the hunter. If I went in and there was no cloud, I would have gone in cloaked, because otherwise the monster would have seen where I was and would have been able to go after me. So
It's out there somewhere.
in this format, I didn't have to, because Hyde really helped me out, and that's a good tip for Trapper to and Assault, sorry, to get in there and just sort of protect everyone. So as soon as my heal burst there charges up, I let it go and heal everyone. You can see on the left hand side, right in that little corner, that little wheel, and that tells you everyone's health there. That's a very useful feature, because it will tell you who's hurting, who needs the health more than someone else. Sometimes you have to trek to a hunter, so sometimes it's better to go and heal one than the other. Now, as you can see, I'm just about to land. And I could see that coming a mile off, so I go in for the attack here. Now you can also revive monsters with this glove, but why would you? Because that sort of thing happens. It's useful sometimes if the monster's nearby and it can do some damage to him. But for the most part, I would say don't revive a monster unless you have to. Because obviously, you know, as soon as you do, he's going to go for the hunters around him. if there is a monster nearby who's going to be hurt by the wildlife, then yeah, why not? If you need, like, if you've got your cloak handy, if you're on your own, there's no one else around, you revive a large predator, cloak yourself, and he can be your, like, little defender while you wait for everyone else. So I see that sort of acid form there, and I also see the monster. So I heal myself here, and I go down and cloak, and I just stay still. Don't run around, because the monster's just attacked there, but he doesn't see me because I'm cloaked. So I'm able to back off without taking any damage there, because I didn't panic, I just stayed where I was. There's no footprint when you stay where you are, so as you can see here, he's cloaked, so I'm cloaked myself. As I revive, my cloak goes down, so I'm letting the monster pummel this guy. Hank helps me out with a cloak of his own there, so that, again, the monster doesn't see me. I take a bit of damage from acid, but because he didn't see me, he didn't go after me. So when cloak goes dead, or cloak is offline like that, recharges very fast. Because I've got that recharge. As you can see, my health was fairly low there. It went down to half. And I just pause it here. I'm going to do this a bit more so I can give you an after action report. So, in that, I didn't panic. I got in close for the revives. Hank, very supportive there, as is his class. He put up the large cloak so that I could stay cloak, and it extends the cloaking for me. As long as I stay near him, then I can cloak for longer. Also, it helps for me because, you know, I don't have to use my own cloak, and that can recharge while he's using that cloak and get someone else up. And then I leave Assault, Trapper, and whoever to deal with the monster while I go over and revive someone else. If they go down, then I've got someone else up, and I can wait around for a bit and then revive someone else or use the healing burst. But the main thing for Medic is to try and stay out the fight as much as possible. I was laying down some sniper fire there, but for the most part, for the second half of the battle, at the start I was laying down fire. For the second half of that battle, I backed off because I needed to. I needed to keep the team healthy, and as soon as the Medic goes down, the rest of the team follow. So as you can see there, I let him evolve to stage 3. He's already at quite low health to start with, so we're not too bad going into the third stage. Like I say, going into the third stage is always difficult, but with Lazarus, I feel a lot more confident myself. I'm just finding a nice place near the generator. That rock's pretty good by there. I like this rock here. But as you can see, I can see some tracks, and I saw him go off in the distance earlier, and he went over there, so I'm just highlighting that to say he's going away. Switching to Trapper just briefly there, because I just want to see if he's nearby, but he's not, so I go back to my little rock of safety here. And yeah, I'm about to pause it because once again the video is going to run out, and I'll pick it up in the next bit. But as you can see there on the right hand side, all the different classes of Lazarus are available to read through. On solo, when you pause it like this, the game stops, as I've said before. When you're not on solo, when you're on the in player mode, I would really recommend going to take a break option down on the left hand side, but it's not here on this one. Okay, so into the next part. Here we go, and as you can see, the equipment here on the right hand side as before, but for the most part, you know, I'm just waiting around for the next battle to begin. I believe not long after this the monster comes back and we really get into it and get another engagement, and then I'll give you a final after action report, and then I think he comes back once more after that. Stage 3 monster is pretty tough, as I've said before, Gotta stay near the team. Now, a lot's gonna happen in the next segment. Multiple revives, but keep an eye on my attack and defense. And by defense, I mean stop and attacking. Go cloaked or go get out the way. Stay out the way and don't get in front of the monster. I was in a lobby once and someone was just medic who wants to attack all the time. And attacking as a medic is extremely risky because as soon as you've gone down and as soon as you die, the rest of the team follow. So here I'm just waiting for the monster to come to me. Some people like to go to him and try and burn off some more armor and keep him away from the generator. But honestly, I think it's better to wait around. You can lay traps and lay in, support your team and prepare for attack, etc. So I believe in a minute he comes along, or yep, there he is. I spotted him on there and I highlighted him. Now the dome goes up and as you can see the generator is outside the dome. I try and get on that little rock there but it's just not inside enough. I back off before that explodes, doing a double tap on the jetpack. And as I can see from that beam, that's where the monster is. Tank burning a huge amount of armor off. On the left hand side there's the, well there's that. I'm attacking because there's no threat from monster. On the wheel now I can see that the team is low on health, so I'm attacking from a distance, but also I'm watching where my team are, because I know that someone's about to go down. So in I go, I heal over there, and I'm about to fall down here, so I cloak, get out the glove, charge and revive. So again I'm cloaked, I'm not attacking the monster, he can't see me. Yes, that hurts a bit, but I put that little heal burst there while I wait for the glove to recharge and someone else goes in. So now the monster's attacking him and I take a bit of damage there, but again with the glove, and I can see him coming for me now, so I'm moving out the way, trying to get out the way, and I cloak. And he can see my footprints when he smells, but he's not coming after me. I can tell because on the wheel you can see someone else's health going down. So I pull him back up from the grave, and in I go again up the cliff. Now that monster's health is very, very low at this point, and it seems he's run off. I didn't really see it. I was trying to get out the way of the monster, which I did very well. And there he is back again for a minute, but then I heal and he's gone away. So I don't know where he's gone at the moment. And the last part is coming up now. But as you can see, it got very chaotic as before in there. But the important thing to do is keep your head, know when to fire, know when to stop firing. Obviously when you're cloaked, he can't see you, but he can see your footprints if he uses a sniff and smells you. Can see where you're going, so if there's water, run through that and he can't see that. He can see your footprints. He can also see your jetpack flare, so if you're jetpacking he can see where you are as well, so be aware of that as well. Okay, and we're about to pick it up in the final video in a minute. So here we go, we're about to go into the final battle. But before we do, just a few last advantages to Lazarus. You might notice with some hunters, when they go down and get picked up again through regular means, not using the glove, a little bar appears on their health, and that means that they'll never be able to get that health back again. Once you've gone down twice, you lose the same segment of health, and once you've gone down a third time, you'll die outright. Now, obviously the Lazarus being able to revive people from the grave, a little blue circle will come up over the player, like a little semicircle, and that will show you how long you have to revive someone from death. Now this is after the skull has gone out. You can still bring people back, which is a very useful thing. So even after a hunter's dead, if you can't get to him, then let the monster run off, and then after he is dead and it shows on the screen that he's dead, you can still revive him, given that you've still got that blue semicircle left. Now, having said that, there are some ways when you can't revive them from death. For instance, if they get eaten. If they get eaten by a plant or by another predator, then you can't. And if they get eaten by a monster, then you can't. So on the left hand side, there's your health, and it takes out about, I would say about half when you got 2 bars, a quarter when you've got 1 bar. Now, as you can see, I've quick switched into support here, and I'm just building up the shields before attacking the monster, or the monster comes back to attack us. You'll notice I'm not really building up Lazarus, the medic's shield. The reason for that is, again, the monster can see it when you're cloaked. So even though I've got a tiny bit of shield there, and you can see the shimmer sometimes, yeah, they're just the blue shimmering. I don't really want a shield built up, because as soon as I cloak, the monster will see where I am. So in a minute I will mark good places to stand. There you are. Those are good places to stand, and I believe the monster's about to attack any second now, so I just quick switch into support to build up the last bit of shield, and a quick switch back. So good places to stand there, and I can see him there, and I just mark him. So about to go into the last bit, and here we are into the last bit. And yeah, so I've marked him, I'm running towards him, but I don't go all the way in. Again, there's that little acid thing, he drops down. But there's the monster, so as soon as I see him, I keep an eye on the left hand side of my health bar of my team, move into position on this cliff to the right here. Now I could shoot off that spider, but at this point we've got 2 people down, so I cloak, go in to the pickup, pick up one, and I get hit by a spider, but thankfully I revived support and he got me out of that one fairly quickly. My health is pretty low, but so's the monsters at this point, and this is the critical part. You've got to think about whose health is lower, yours, someone else's. So I'm watching where the monster is, I'm backing off, I'm going in, I'm reviving and backing off again. Someone drops, support drops that beam which burns off the rest of the monster's health, and there we are, that's the end of it. The main point to remember about that is that, yes, it was a bit chaotic towards the end there. Yes, I did kind of go off book a bit there and went in for the kill, but then I have the experience. If I was in your shoes and I was less experienced, less knowing what to do, I would have backed off a bit more, let the monster run around, maybe run off a bit or attack further down, and then revive a teammate, and then maybe attack to draw it off a bit, go cloaked, and then revive someone else, etc, etc. So as you can see at the end of that video, we got the drones. Because we won, we'll get those drones which carry over into the next battle, to the next fight. So we are into day 2 now. So day 2, as you can see, favours monster because we won that. So every time you win, it will favour the monster. Every time it loses, it will favour hunters. If we had lost that one, then we would have lost the support. So here I get to choose 2 different maps. The bigger one is Nest, that has a bigger population. Obviously, I want as much population as possible, because the more population I save, the more experience that means for you at the end of the day. However, the bigger areas sometimes carry with them bigger risk due to, well, Nest certainly carries a bigger risk. This one's a very difficult one to do. I just show you the start of this one, and we'll leave it there because I'm running out of space on my video. So, as you can see, you got those turrets in the last one, which will track and hunt the monster. Not with you, they're randomly stationed around the map, and if they see it, right, will engage if it's within its area. and it will support you that way, which is very useful. If you'd lost that map, I believe you get, the monster gets a lot of humans which it can feed on, like skeletons and bodies and that sort of thing, and it will eat those. So, for a nest map, the best class to use is Bucket. So I'm going to show you support, and I'm going to show you Bucket in the next video, and I will show you how to effectively navigate a nest map quickly. Now again, I'm using that skin because it's easier to show. You can see it very clearly there, so you know what I've got and what I'm using. And as always, I'm thinking about going quick reload. But if on a hunt map, I would use fast action there, the running, because you can move very quickly, deploy your head, and then catch up very quickly with your team. But as we're on a hunt, I'm going to go quick reload. So see you in the next video.